Shaun, you've described the first day of the season as your Christmas day, and we're almost here now, so I guess you must be very much looking forward to it.
Oh, I am. I can't wait for the weekend. I really can't. I mean, as soon as the fixtures are read out, wherever any of the players or the staff are on holiday, kind of that little tinge of excitement starts to seep through. And obviously, pre-season is very important. You've got to get through it, and you've got to maximise the minutes and look after the players and everything that pre-season tends to throw your way. But this is what it's about. We're looking forward to the weekend and looking forward to getting on the bus and going down to Exeter and hopefully, bringing a result back.
Touched upon pre-season now. I guess every player comes back and even the new players come in looking to impress. But in the lead up to the first game of the season, do you sort of sense that competitive edge within the squad to sort of, okay, there's a place in the squad in a league game coming up this week?
Yeah, I mean, I sensed that perhaps 2 weeks ago. Obviously them opening 5 or 6 games are all about trying to get minutes which are equal, and then you start thinking about potentially how the squad's going to look and how the team's going to look ready for the opening game of the season. And players aren't stupid, they see that. But what I have stressed to them is that obviously I have a team to pick on Saturday, and we feel that the group of players that are travelling down to Exeter can bring a result back, but that doesn't say that that team's going to be the same the next week or 3 weeks later or anything like that. It's all about keeping a close group of players that are all striving for the same outcome. And to be fair to the lads, within the disappointment of 1 or 2 decisions that have been made, they've handled it perfectly well, and I wouldn't expect anything different from them.
Obviously a new face in the door this week, Giovanni Brown, we'll touch on him in a moment's time, but not as many faces through the door this summer. But I guess that's gone towards helping the team bond more generally, because the squad that was generally here last year have remained that way.
Well, if you want to make strides as a football club and progress and get an identity that takes the club forward, you can't have 15, 16 new players come in every single summer, because it just disrupts everything what you're trying to build. Last year we had a transitional year in terms of trying to get certain players games of football elsewhere and trying to bring certain players in to help our cause. And with the large amount of players that came through last year, it took a little while to bed in. Perhaps coincided with the slower start that we had last year. But this year's different. I feel that with 7 or 8 players, it's a good combination of the old and the new. And there's a lot of things set in stone that have not changed over the course of the summer. So hopefully that'll help us.
I guess one of the things you're most keen about when you get to a new season is looking at how you can improve on the last season. One of those areas that you've sort of pointed out is finding goals from other areas, and I guess the guys that have come in, Adi Aziz, David Amu, Jabo Bahiri, and obviously Giovanni this week, it goes to show that statement's very much in your mindset at the moment.
Well, without a doubt, we had a good, clean structure to the way that we set up last year. Sometimes, the setup was determined by a lack of availability from forward players, so we had to kind of look slightly different to potentially how we wanted to play. But last year there was a lot of pressure on Derry. Luke came in and he delivered. 22 goals from an attacking midfield area was phenomenal. But you can't just rely on one player. And I know that we had a contribution from Leggy at the back, who he scored a few goals for us, but you're looking at different players, and you've just mentioned the names there. We're all hoping that they can produce what we've seen them produce in their career so far. And Aziz was a big threat when he played at this level for AFC. Amu knows this level and he's contributed goals in his career. And obviously we know that Jabo's a player who constantly hits the goal trail, and we're hoping that takes place again.
And specifically about Giovanni Brown, what was it that stood out during his trial period here?
It's just his ability, his technical ability. Looks after the ball really well, finds pockets of space that sometimes is difficult for other players to see. He's got a shot, seen the shot in pre-season games, and he's obviously got a goal in his locker as well. I think every St Neots supporter last year would say that he single-handedly, obviously with the help of his teammates, obviously, but it was his goals that kept them in the league that they was in. And we need Giovanni to be given time, and we have to expose him to things that he's not been used to over the past 2 or 3 years, and we've got to make sure that we give him the best possible introduction back into league football.
moving on to this weekend in Exeter City, I believe you've got pretty much a full deck of cards to play from if you like, barring Brad Halliday, who obviously went that surgery for his appendicitis a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and it's good. You know, we've got big numbers. You know, at this moment in time, we've got a squad of 25. Brad's missing, and we knew that anyway, so it gives an opportunity for somebody else. But for us, you know, it's the opening game of the season. You know, we'll be taking more than the squad of 18 because everyone's going to play a big part in this weekend's event.
Taking the number of players, taking a great number of fans going as well. The Umber Army selling out their allocation for away tickets well in advance of the game, so that'll be a good opportunity to see them once more.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you know, I think it's still very clearly in everybody's memory just how well they supported us last year. You know, coincided at masses arriving at Wickham away on the last game of the season. For us to sell out again, you know, I think that's just, you know, sets an intention from the fans, and we have to make sure as a group of staff and players that we follow suit.